Welcome to part 2.
Part 2 of Jake and Craig and Chyna talk about stuff for a while. This is a Pops update.
Yeah.
So, anything new in the episode?
Yeah,
front?
sure.
Like what?
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. So I'm angry.
I'm glad that you brought that to fruition because we were all thinking.
Yeah, we were. If we were, in age to listen to that in the 90s.
Sure.
You don't have to listen to the 90s. It still exists.
It doesn't exist anymore. Go Google it. It's not there.
I feel like this episode 8, has been particularly plagued by problems. Scheduling's been very difficult, and many things have cropped up during production to make us have to reschedule and reschedule and reschedule.
People's lives are annoying, Always get in the way.
They're just It came to a couple things have happened. One, I started scheduling more days. Because we used to do much longer nights until we were shooting until like 1 in the morning or 3 in the morning sometimes, and it was just exhausting.
Yep.
And so more days means wrapping at like 11:30.
Which is nice.
Yeah. So, but it's gone over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And I've tried to schedule around the holidays, and then it will never stop snowing ever again in Chicago.
Yeah.
So we'll never get the exteriors we missed.
This is the worst weather of my life. And at the same time, we're shooting one of the most epic episodes of Platoon of Power
It's
Squad.
really long.
It's a long one. It's not, I would say, as far as action sequences go, it hasn't been the most difficult. As far as the sequence, but as far as the weather, it has been the most difficult, I think.
Like, we started shooting in October. It is now February. And our last 3 shoot days, hopefully, are happening in the first couple days of March.
How long did episode 7 take to shoot?
Episode 7 we shot, we started shooting December of 12.
Well, don't count that, because that was when we were shooting 6 and 7 at the same time.
Yeah, and then we stopped and we shot for like a month, and then one more in September. Okay, so basically, I guess the lesson is, shooting Pops is a nightmare always.
Well, to me, this has been a very easy shoot. Because I'm not the one scheduling.
You've had more days. You've had more days than any other episode.
I have had many days. I had 23 shoot days or something.
Yeah.
I've had.
Yeah.
How many are total? Are there total?
There's total maybe like 23, 25. And you've had like, so far you've had like 19 shoot days.
Yeah, and then I have 3 more. So
yeah.
22 shoot days. But they're all like 3 or 4 hours long as opposed to like the meth lab scene in episode 6 was a 3-day weekend, full days. And that was a big shoot.
Yeah, that was a lot of shooting.
Yeah,
and very complicated.
Yes, this is like you show up, do our thing for a while, and it's done. Couple shoots this time that were particularly difficult, though, really difficult.
What are you talking about?
Not because of you or because of scheduling, but because of the cold.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was sick.
You were sick. You were sick as a dog.
Yeah. For we can't say what it is.
No.
But
it was outside. I was there for one of those days.
No, we can't. We can say who was involved because all of these characters are involved. So like it involved Craig and Greta, the girl who plays the stall, and Marshall, the guy who plays at the end of 7, Gabe. And we were rehearsing dialogue, and the rehearsing of the dialogue was Craig going, and Greta was the entire time, and Marshall just finally broke down laughing, saying, "Everybody is so sick."
My nose running. I had to have a roll of toilet paper, and I was just constantly blowing my nose. And it was windy. It was like the windiest day of my life.
Yeah. No, actually, that was the next night.
Oh, that was the night. Well, both nights I was.
They were freezing. It was freezing.
Yeah.
It was so cold. Yeah, Greta and Eliza had to trade boots because Greta's feet were so cold and she couldn't go inside and Eliza could.
Yeah.
She needed to. Oh, man.
And
it's been rough. I don't know why we always shoot in the cold.
And then the recent one, I think you just mentioned it in an update, was the parking ramp one. That was the coldest shoot I've ever had for Pops. But it wasn't the most difficult, but it was the coldest.
You think shooting in the parking garage was colder than the night you were sick shooting outside?
Well, the night I was sick outside, I felt more miserable. But partly because I was sick, partly because it was so windy.
It was really cold in the parking garage.
But the parking garage was, by temperature, like by degrees, the coldest shoot.
And in order to get to the parking garage set, everybody had to drive through a blizzard.
Yeah, it was horrible. It the worst weather that I've driven in. Driving home, there was no road. There was no road. Have you heard Ryan or David talk about this?
No.
Yeah, there was literally no road for the entire way. There was no plow. It was just like there were tracks you could follow that others drove on
the highway.
On the highway.
Just kind of blindly trusting that those tracks that they didn't run off
on
of.
the interstate. It was like that the whole way home. I had to drive really slow. Yeah.
I am so thankful that you guys are okay. Also, that we got a parking garage because that stuff looks great.
That and it's a really cool action sequence. I look like a badass in that scene, I think.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. No, I've cut that stuff together and put effects over a lot of it already.
Excellent.
This is the longest footage ever.
Yeah, you have a lot to edit here.
Thank you for joining us for part 2.
Part 2. I like part 2 better than part 1.
Well, part 2.
More.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. I was trying to talk over you.
Okay. Part 2 was much more about Pops.
It was, and it was my favorite part. I think Pops logo.
Pops logo.
Okay.
Oh.
Can you rotoscope my hand over the Pops logo?
Oh, I don't want to. I can. I don't want to.
Just put the word rotoscope in.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm all out of beer.
I just have my phone, but you can have it.
Thank you for watching and stuff.